Each week, the Humane Society of Southern Arizona brings us an adorable adoptable pet, and it breaks our heart knowing how long they have lived without a home. But what we often don't know is that some of the pets have been homeless for much longer, and their lives were saved by being transferred into their care. Back to tell us more is the one and only Andrea Mitchell, with, of course, another nugget for us today. Who do you have?
Yes, this sweet boy is Arthur. He's not that good at catching treats, but he is really good at giving sweet snuggles. This is a very, very special dog to us. He was actually transferred into our care from a different shelter, as like hundreds of other dogs that we see each year, thanks to designated funds for our Second Chance Fund. So Arthur was able to get a second chance through our shelter. He just had a surgery on his hip, but he has been getting some serious TLC over at HSSA by our staff and volunteers, and he is now ready to be available for adoption. He is such a great dog.
Oh, look at him. He's so handsome.
He's beautiful.
So what does that mean when you say a shelter transfer?
So what that means is that somebody will call us up or reach out to us, reach out to one of our liaisons and let us know that they're a different shelter, that they are overpopulated and they're pretty much stressed out. And so we have this huge van that we call Colossus. We pack that thing up with as many crates and towels as we can, and we'll head over to that shelter. Usually it's going to be in rural Arizona, but we have gone all over the Southwest. I think you guys remember whenever we went and did the New Mexico rescue. Right. So we go over to shelters that are in need of serious help, because we are so lucky to be able to have those funds, resources, and the staff to be able to execute a shelter transfer. So
when you get there with the big van, what do you do?
Well, when we get there, the shelter staff for the other shelter usually welcomes us with such open arms. It's normally when we're doing a shelter transfer, they're in serious stress, dire need, and are in real need of help. So when we get there, their staff will make suggestions of which pets we should bring back with us. Oftentimes we'll do dogs and cats. Sometimes it'll be a dog-only transfer. And occasionally we've also done a cat-only transfer. That's a loud van home.
Yeah.
Lots of cats.
Yeah.
And so then we will start packing up all the animals, repacking the van up with full crates of dogs and cats, and we'll get the paperwork going so that the dogs are officially ours in our care. And it's usually such a smooth transition. You can tell that the shelter staff wants the best for all of their dogs and know that it's in their best interest to come over to Tucson.
Yeah, and so once you receive them, you drive them back and they get over to the Humane Society. What do you do then?
Yeah, so every pet will be evaluated by our vet. They will be vaccinated and dewormed just for precaution, because not all other shelters have the same protocols as us. So once they're cleared by our vet, every pet will be spayed and neutered, and then they'll go on our adoption floor like Arthur here and wait to find their forever home.
Do we kind of know how many pets you guys have actually done this with?
Yeah, we do. So we've already done a couple of transfers since this year has started, but I know, right? And last year, the Humane Society of Southern Arizona transferred in 1,481 pets from other shelters, and that includes shelters where disasters have happened, like the Cedar Creek fire, to the New Mexico transfer, where they were literally having to euthanize pets just because they were simply out of space. There was no more space. We are lucky to be a managed intake facility where we're able to really manage our numbers and make sure that almost every animal leaves our shelter to a happy home. And by us going into other shelters that don't have that luxury, they don't have those resources, not only are we giving those pets a second chance, but we're giving other pets on the streets in those communities a second chance, because it opens up kennels in those shelters to give them a chance at life.
And of course, as we talked about last week, you guys are getting this new place for the animals to be in the new building, and people are still able to help with that effort?
Absolutely. We don't want that help to stop. If you are feeling very giving, we want you to reach deep, deep, deep in your pockets. If any of these stories have touched your hearts, if you know a shelter dog, if you know someone who loves rescue, please, please consider making a donation to our capital fund. We are building a new home, and we're in dire need, 72 years old. You can find all the information for our new campus over at www.hssaz.org/building. There's a great video on there and a bunch of great pictures and all the info about our new place.
And remember, Arthur is also still looking for a home. Look at that face.
I know.
No, Andrea, thank you so much for coming back, of course. And to support their new location and the sheltered pets, as we were just saying, log on to hssaz.org/building. For more details, give them a call at 327-6088.